What's going on today, guys? Primal Sabbath here, and today we're gonna do another little action figure Saturday review. I was kind of messing with this a few days ago, whenever I recorded the Generations Siege Springer review. So I kind of wanted to put this under the lights and in front of the camera, because this is probably one of, maybe not the most, but definitely one of my more favorited Marvel Universe figures. It's actually Marvel Legends Infinite series, which is whenever they're kind of phasing everything, under the Legends banner. But this is Death's Head. Particularly, this is the first Death's Head. This is not really how he appeared in his first appearance in the Transformers UK number 113, I believe. This is more how he appeared, I think, at the end of... oh, goodness. It was... The name slips. It was another UK book, obviously, but it was like, because he was like flung far into the future after he got shrunk down by a doctor in a Doctor Who magazine, that was crazy. But now I can't think. It was like a futuristic military, like strike force kind of team thing. Think like G.I. Joe, but like in the year like 9000 or some kind of like crazy nonsense like that. But anyways, he got rebuilt, and he's smaller, so more or less his Death's Head number 1 appearance. So there is that. It's based off of the Colossus mold, almost entirely, man. Like the thighs, the torso, the arms, very much Colossus. Even the bracers here. Guess the hands are new. Looks like these bottom leg pieces are probably new. I couldn't tell you about the boots. I'm not well versed enough in parts from like action figure parts. Real quick, let's get that off there. He's got also this kind of like little belt thing that moves around, but it really hinders his movement. Like really hinders it. He can't really go too far into A Stance City. I feel like it's putting a little too much stress on that, but like. Well, I guess he can go pretty far into A Stance City. As you can see, his weapons popped out. We'll get to that in a minute. It's kind of between the weapons popping out and just this thing, right? Like, so we got some little holes, some little nipple holes, that I think is just from the Colossus book where his like vest or whatever plugs in. But there's no holes on the other side of this thing. Like, what gives with that? So I haven't glued it yet, just because I know I've wanted to review it for a long time. So I think I may dab some super glue onto that. You can see that some of the yellow paint got under a little bit of bleed through. But anyways, I may see if I can't super glue that down. But anyways, he's one of the rare 3 3/4 inch figures that has a disc hinge in the neck, so you can get some pretty awesome upward movement. And it's a pretty awesome downward movement. And of course, it's sitting on top of a ball, and just very, very Death's Head noggin this guy has. I know the 6-inch line did a Death's Head too. Not a fan of that particular Death's Head. It's just not an interesting looking design, in my opinion. So there's that. Again, kind of getting in close like this, you can see where a lot of the paint blemishes and things like that are, but you can also see just how great the sculpt work is, again, on such a small figure. A lot of this is, like I said, reused from Colossus, but all these accessories are honestly, like, they're really well done. It's aces, if you ask me. So there's that. Let's get that back up. Well, let's get it back down a little bit. So he comes with a shield, which, he usually has stored. It can plug on right there, like a million times better than most Captain America shields. Albeit it looks like they use kind of like the same pegging system, which is sort of funny. But here's the problem with the shield. So instead of closed loops, it's got these little clips, and the shield itself is made of like a pliable material. So these clips kind of give over time. You can see just trying to squeeze them back together. They just, they have a little give. And you can see on these weapons, which, again, are kind of sort of made of that same pliable material, there's like a little boop right there where it gets a little thick. So you're supposed to be able to plug that in right there, but it doesn't stay. So plug that. Nope. All right, we're going to try it again. All right, plug that in right there, and then plug that one in right there. And you're supposed to have his weapons, and they can plug in, any which way, however you want to do it. And then that's when you see there's two little square holes cut out where you would plug the shield in. Ideally, it makes way more sense if you plug the shield in first, and then you plug in the weapons. But again, they don't really hold. I guess it's fortunate that the cape would cause them from falling any further, so you kind of use little clips there more or less as a guide whenever they actually work. But again, you can see, just manipulating the figure, these pieces are just falling out of it. It sucks, man. I'm not, that's kind of my biggest gripe about it. If they would have just found a way to make that a little closed off loop, but right here, this is fine. He's gonna stand on the shelf well enough without really worrying about those little pieces falling off. But in the legs, he's got those big boy muscle legs that a lot of these larger 3 3/4 inch figures kind of have, where you got to really torque on them to get them out to get him to stand. But he's going to be fine on a shelf. He didn't come with a stand or anything like that. It's not like you really needed it. So let's get those out of the way. If you want to, you can pop these hands off with relative ease, as you should be able to, because in the book, he often replaced hands with weapons. So you get that going on, which I really do like. And I wish, okay, yeah, that does. It was just a little bit tight for me earlier, because I was able to get this one in, but this one kind of wanted to seize up a little bit in there. But they do more or less come down to the same distance rather from the armpits. So yeah, you can have a lot of fun with this, man. I think, and I'm really glad it's 3 3/4 inch scale. 6 inch, you'd be able to kind of put them in with your Transformers and stuff. But just as he is this way, I do like having him with the rest of my Marvel Universe collection. Let's see if we can get these legs stretched back out again. Come on, A stands for me. There we go. And we're just gonna carefully wiggle those in like that. Size comparison time. Let's see what I got. I got a little go-to here. Here's the Marvel Universe Wolverine. So you can see he's actually like proper 1/18. He's not 3 3/4, which Wolverine may not be exactly 3 3/4 either. So let's get Cap in here, who's A stanced up. Yeah, Wolverine is, he's on the little bit of the short side. So there's Cap. Again, Cap's, I got Cap in an A stance, so he's definitely one of the bigger ones. He's probably closer to 4, maybe 4 1/4, maybe on a good day, but it's probably definitely a lot closer to 4 with no issues. And get that out of the way. Since he interacted with some Transformers, let's again get him in here with Siege Springer. I know I kind of showed those two off in that review, but this still kind of works if you maybe want it for that. If you want to put him with some Transformers, I actually have him on display with a lot of my Club G.I. Joe crossovers and my San Diego Comic-Con Revolution set. So he goes really good with all those. I don't really have him necessarily next to my my Marvel Universe stuff. So there is that. Other than that, you can't really get too many awesome, crazy poses out of them, unfortunately. Again, it's just because all this stuff gets in the way. But on the shelf, he looks menacing. I think, as far as, getting decent photos out of him, you'd probably be able to. But, yeah, that's it more or less for Death's Head. I think you can still get this pretty cheap. I know, my not necessarily my local comic shop, but a shop close by actually had one on the peg for $10 still, and I think you can find them on eBay for $10-15 shipped, stuff like that. So if you like the character, and if you like the new comic book run, which is surprisingly so far I do, as of this recording, there's only been 3 issues. The first one I loved. The second one was a little rocky, but the third one I really liked how it continued to pick up, and Death's Head is represented in this costume in that manner. So I really hope that maybe that kind of series is possibly like maybe popular enough to weasel Death's Head into some other stories, because like no matter what book they stick him in, I think I'd probably pick that book up while he's still kicking around. So anyways, that's it for Marvel Legends Infinite Series Death's Head. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment box. I hope you guys enjoy this kind of stuff, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.